Welcome back to another episode of a couple conversations where we talk about topics related to partnering in business and life. Today,
Today we're talking about the pressure again, but like the pressure to keep on keeping on at the new level and capacity that you have set in the face of numerous numerous hurdles, numerous struggles that you must triumph.
like what struggles? What numerous struggles? Let's be specific.
Um,
What are you going through?
the health stuff is pretty huge, probably the main thing, because it really connects to like my mental and emotional health and well-being and comfortability and ability to do the day-to-day tasks that I do want to do, whether that be cleaning up the house or taking care of my clients or doing a job, you know.
How do you feel like you're balancing the health related stuff against all the other more career driven obstacles that you face?
Um I think that I've always been like really, really career driven and goal oriented. And so it has been easy for me to put that in front. And I think recently we realized again, and maybe mainly me, because I think that you already were observing that I was kind of doing that, putting other things in front of my health, but in my mind thinking like, okay, this is part of the plan, so I need to do this. But I was doing it in such a way where I was disregarding like, okay, you can't do any of that if you're not if you're not good.
Yeah.
So,
I feel like,
yeah.
especially in this society, it kind of supports the idea that if we work really hard, then there'll be enough time to make up for the lost time when it comes to the health, the sleep deprivation, the late nights, the early mornings, the running to and from, the missing of meals, or when you do eat, you kind of load up on things that aren't entirely agreeable with your body system and its natural functions, i.e., probably eat shit and get constipated. You know what I mean? Like that's really what it comes to.
Or like eating while you're working, or eating in the car while you're driving to the next place, or like eating super quickly.
Yeah.
And that's all has impacts on a lot of things,
And
your health.
that's just the eating part. You're
Yeah.
not even talking about the emotional and the
Yeah.
mental, you know,
It's like,
distress that you go through by not learning and practicing how to separate the attention and be present.
mhm.
Okay. Do you find that when you wake up in the morning, or how do you wake up in the morning? What are the first things that go through your mind?
The past couple days it's been different, because usually I got into a really nice flow of like getting up, and like I'll have my tea and I'll do my stretching, and we're juicing, so I'll have my juice as well, and it's nice and da da da. The past couple days it has not been that way. Like, of course I still get up, I have my tea, but it feels a lot more like I already get up, and of course like my mind will start running, but I try to slow it down before I get up. Like, I'll be like, okay, I'm meditating, hold on. And I try to run through a number of like, oh, I'm thankful for another day, and before I get lost in the whatever, because the past couple days there has been, whether I wanted it to be or not, and I didn't want to. I love to go to sleep and wake up like it's a new day, but there have been a past couple days where the energy kind of carried, and I didn't sleep it off, you know.
Mm,
So I wake up and I'd be like, okay, you know.
okay. So to get a little bit more specific,
Yeah.
When you wake up, what are generally the first thoughts that come to mind? What do you do?
What are the first thoughts that come to mind and what do I do?
Yeah.
First thoughts that come to mind.
And I mean like fresh. You open your eyes.
What
Yo,
time is it?
man. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter what time it is.
Are you No, that's one of the first things that comes to my mind.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I thought
What
because I
time
was
is
like
it?
are you because that's true because I be
Okay.
having my alarm set, but the first thing is like if I wake up and an alarm hasn't gone off or like first thing I'm thinking about is probably like, okay, what time is it? What day is it? What am I doing today? Okay, slow down. I'm thankful for this day. Thank you for the success. Da 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 da. All right, now what time is it? Da, 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 da. Gonna get up, have my tea, go to the bathroom, brush my teeth, blah blah blah. How much time do I have? Do I feel like stretching today? And that is probably in a matter of seconds. And then I look over at you and I'm like, oh, and that slows things down a little bit. I'm like, is he waking up? So that we will have our moment. And that's really sweet. Sometimes I know that in the past couple days as well, too, it's just been kind of like sometimes you get out of bed before me. Sometimes I get out of bed before you. I feel like mostly you do, or we'll be up at the same time when we're just in the bed. Um, but that's a really sweet moment. And then just everything.
Yeah, I can see that. I feel like, especially recently, the days are kind of meshing together.
Yeah.
For instance, today, I went to the studio. I got there about, a quarter to nine, and then I was there until about 4. And it just felt like the time flies by. And then I came home, and it's such a similar day, a similar existence as I've existed prior days.
Mm-hmm.
Come home, maybe take off my jacket, which I didn't today,
Mm-hmm.
and then, today I started prepping for the juicing tonight. Another day it might be like sweeping or going onto the computer to do the next thing. It's just a similar experience. I'm not mad at that. It does it does start to weigh on the mental a bit when you go to sleep and then you wake up and you kind of know what to expect for the day.
Mm-hmm.
You almost begin to expect what it is that you've experienced because it's happened so often.
And sometimes I like that. I think that what I don't particularly is like, we got some news and you got to keep up with okay, I know that I'm to expect this every day. There's this big unexpected thing that also is now part of how every day will be going because it is required. And so this thing is taking the attention, but we've created some consistency, which, is like, but it's also really exciting sometimes too. I like that, we can count on that. I wake up, I know where I'm going, I know what I'm doing, and boom, I like that. I don't like, oh, it feels like there's another thing, or oh, that got added, or that wasn't planned, or, you know.
Yeah. I guess I'm not seeing it from like so much as I like or I don't like. Consistency is key, right? If we find ourselves in a rhythm and we are experiencing the same thing over and over again, at different levels, right? Because we are leveling up,
Mm-hmm.
thus the pressure gets heavier.
Mm-hmm.
It's not necessarily, a like or dislike. It's just the experience of it,
Mm-hmm.
right? Knowing that I'm going to wake up and I'm gonna go to the studio and I'm gonna do X, Y, and Z,
Mm-hmm.
right? Waking up on Sunday and knowing that I'm gonna do X, Y, and Z,
Mm-hmm.
um, because really it's consistency that builds the world. right?
Yeah.
If we were just inconsistent, then nothing would get done because we'd be bouncing everywhere. So there's a blessing in it.
Yeah.
It's just the experience of it, and then the mental weight of having to experience it,
Yeah.
and then also kind of being able to watch the time go by,
Yeah.
and it's not almost it's not so much as a watch as it is a living,
Mhm.
because you are living it.
Yeah.
But throughout our day to day, it's like you said, you wake up and you're like, what time is it? It's like we live by the time, we live by the clock, and
Yeah.
it's a man-made creation,
Yeah.
so we're very I don't even want to say in tune, but we're very affixed to the concept of time, and that's a little unnerving.
Yeah. It is. It's it's interesting.
Because then we start to measure, right?
Mhm.
Everything becomes a number that just measures out our day.
Yeah. Like
And
how productive were you today? And that's the thing too, is it's like I want to feel like I'm utilizing my time wisely. And I am by a lot of others' means and a lot of and the means of myself. I'm like, wow, yeah, you're using your time wisely. You're using it efficiently. I'm also like, fuck, shit. I would very much like to take a walk or very much like to just do some yoga and not have to worry about the time or meditate and not have to worry about the time. Or like, cuz it's like yes, spending the time to meditate. Like if we really want to get into it, it's kind of the how many things can you fit in the 24 hours? Everybody's got the same 24 hours, right? If I want to and if I need to cater to my health, do some mindfulness because it's the physical health, the mental health, the job responsibilities, the relationship responsibilities, feed myself properly, sleep enough, hygiene, get to and from all in one day without worry about time. I'm not sure I've quite figured out how to do that unless like I had some moments today where I was like can't I had someone canceled a meeting. I said, "Oh, I'll use this time and I'll take care of that thing that I've been meaning to do. Get myself some herbs and I'll go to the gym." Great. I wasn't worried about the time because I didn't have anything to do till 6 p.m.
mm,
And that was cool.
you know, I don't think all of those things have to be smushed into a day.
Yeah.
That's goes back to what I was talking about before, right? We're
Consistency.
kind of pigeonholed into this concept of time where we're limited by the day, right? It's like,
Yeah.
oh, and then if it's not by the day, it's by the week, and if it's not by the week, it's by the month, and if it's not by the month, then it's okay. Well, what did you do this
But
year?
then it's like how often are you doing those things? Like when it comes to your mental and physical health, whereas everything else has a structured like schedule or system, even if there's fluidity to it, it's so easy to put that mental health, physical health, emotional well-being, self-care on the back burner, and then it does become what did you do this year to take care of your health? What did you do this year to take care of your well-being? And that's why I do feel like there should be, at least for me, I'm at the point where I'm like I would like an everyday practice, even if it's like 5 minutes, so that then I can have maybe that one a year special thing. Because right now, it's like, if I'm being real, I have these happy, beautiful moments, and there is so much wonderful, amazing things happening in my life. But I feel like shit.
You feel
I'm
like shit.
upset. I'm sad. I'm frustrated. I'm like tired and angry and want to go off the grid and want to talk to people, but also don't want to talk to anybody. And it's just like,
Like what is all of that?
yeah.
Um,
And what's the outlet?
so,
You know?
so you said, if I had 5 minutes, but you do have 5 minutes.
I didn't say if, I just said I would like to do that. And I know I do have it. And then that's another layer there too, right? Because you have to take the time to go in and plan and not let anything else interfere with that time and really get so serious and concrete about it. Like how serious you are about making that meeting or showing up for your clients. Why, and speaking to myself, how serious I am about showing up for my clients and showing up for you. Why am I not that serious about showing up for myself
Because
that I
it's
can give
easier to
myself 5 minutes?
sacrifice oneself than it is to sacrifice someone else.
Well, yeah, it was a rhetorical question, and
But
yeah, but that's
it
true.
it could be rhetorical, but we gotta
Speak to it,
realize,
yeah.
we gotta speak to it, and it might not be rhetorical for whoever's watching it, right? It's like
Yeah.
why don't we is the question. Why don't I take 15 minutes to make sure I stretch in the morning because I know the moment I start stretching and I finish it feels so good.
Yeah.
Why do I continue to almost like punish myself
Yeah.
in a sense? It's like it's really weird, but at the end of the day, we are responsible for our own decisions,
Hmm.
and that can be a hard pill to swallow when we're juggling all of the things,
Yeah.
and it's a lot easier to find a distraction or find an escape
Hmm.
to numb the pain, numb the experience.
It also feels like a little bit of melodrama when I sit and I reflect because I'm sitting here and I'm saying this, but I'm also like, things are going great. Like, this is the best my life has ever been. I'm living my life. I'm living this existence for the first time ever. It's cool. It's like, I've made tremendous leaps and transformations and like my life is great and most of the time if I look at the data points, I'm probably feeling good and doing something good and happy about it.
Mm-hmm.
So sitting in the fact that or sitting in the situation where it's like, okay, I want to allow myself to feel my feelings because that's me looking out for myself and being honest with myself, but I also want to sit in the data and the logic where it's like, okay, and I don't want to minimize what I'm feeling by being like, well, it's not that bad. Like, you've been through much worse and you're doing great and your life is great. It's
Mm-hmm.
great to remind yourself of that, but I'm also like, okay, but feel it. And so that's an interesting juxtaposition as well because yeah, I'm responsible for how I feel. I'm responsible for how I spend my time. I'm responsible like we're responsible for all of it. So why am I still feeling this even though like things are great, you know?
Well, because you want more.
Yeah.
Like you want more.
I want more and I want less of a lot of things.
I mean, you want more of less, right? It's like at the end of
Yeah.
the day, it's all more. We're not put into this existence because we want to not obtain new heights. If my goal was to be, I don't know, to get meth, right? I was a meth head. No, but think about it. It's like I
Yeah.
want to make sure that whatever it is that I do, my concentration is spent day in, day out, making sure I get my next fix.
Yeah.
So in that sense, I want more. If I want more of my time, that means innately I want less of the things that take up my
Yeah.
time.
Yep.
We want more. And I think in the situations that we may find ourselves in on a day to day, it's hard to admit that I don't like where it is that I am at, even though where I'm at is the best point that I have ever been in my entire life. It's not good enough.
Yeah.
And the only person who can do anything about it is
Yeah.
you, which makes it frustrating and it makes it depressing
Yeah.
because you realized how much work you've put in to get to where you are and then to be in this place and then not like it even though you appreciate it. Those are two
Yeah.
different things. You can appreciate it and not like it,
You
and
can
both
like
of them,
some things but not be satisfied. Yeah.
and not be satisfied can be a very frustrating experience.
It is.
It is frustrating,
It
and yet
is.
we sit here and we keep going. This is
Yeah.
episode 42.
Yeah.
you
And that's the
know
thing. It's like
42 of these things.
I'm not feeling it. I don't feel like, but I'm here.
We're here.
And it's like,
42 weeks, almost a year.
yeah.
Almost a year.
That's
That's actually pretty cool.
exciting.
Almost a year. So was it 52 weeks? So we got 10 more of these
Mm-hmm.
things and we made it a year. A year.
And
What
we
have
said we
you
were gonna
done
do it.
for a year straight?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like we
And
said
we've
we were
done
going
a
to do
lot
it.
though. Like we've done this for a year and some change straight.
Mm-hmm.
We're almost doing this for a year and then more. And
Mm-hmm.
then I've been in my business for a year. You've been in your business for, well, a year and some change, and you've been in your business for like a couple of years now. It's like,
Yeah.
and life, we've been in
We've been
I've
waking
been
up.
I've been getting out of bed for 24 years. What? 2 decades and
Yeah.
some change.
It's
That's a
easy
pretty
to
big deal.
forget, but it is a big deal. So yeah,
Ugh.
let's end it on that. If you haven't realized from this conversation yet, we are, we're going through things,
Yeah.
right? This is the second time that we've come up with this, not come up, this rendition around this idea of pressure and
Yeah.
having to keep on going. Life is not easy, and I anticipate that when we get to where it is that we're going and ultimately going to end up at, there's going to be something more that we want, and we're going
Yeah.
to continue to work at it and till we die.
And ideally, at that point, it won't be so like, I don't know. For some reason, the word constipating is coming to my mind because you brought it up. But like, like that strain, but like you're not, like, we're not talking about like actual constipation. But you know what I mean? Like you might be working hard at something, but it won't be so like piercing.
I don't
And it
know
might, but
what
I
piercing means in that
like, when
sense,
it's
but
like,
I would I
you know
would
what I mean.
I would venture to think that regardless of where it is that we're at, you know what they say, more money, more problems. So
But,
in that conceptually, at whatever point we are at in life, there's always going to be something that's
well, yeah,
piercing.
there will always be something, but like right now, the satisfaction that I'm looking for is less of this depresso espresso and more uh, sunshine and rainbows.
I don't know if that
I get
necessarily
it,
exists, but we'll see.
but
We'll
you know
have
what
to
I
find
mean,
out.
right? Like it's like, yeah, I want to, and I've had that though, where I wake up and I'm just like, like, look at this
But
man, and just
those are fleeting moments.
and just like this is a fleeting, like, feelings. Think about how many feelings you have in one day, right? And so that's another reason that it's frustrating because I'm like, what
We're
the
gonna
heck?
close down
Okay,
we're gonna close down
I've
the
got a lot
episode.
of feelings.
We have a lot of feelings if you haven't realized yet. But we're gonna end it off that. We appreciate you for tuning in. Stay tuned because I have a feeling that this conversation is going to continue and probably be a staple. So,
Yes.
if you have anything to add, please add it in the comments. What you're experiencing, what you're feeling, the pressures that you're going through, the challenges, the tribulations, the ups, the downs, the happiness, the
Mm-hmm.
sadness. Let us know. We'd love to be of support, be a listening ear.
That was another thing I wanted to talk about.
We're not.
I'm not, but
Thank
we can
you.
watch episode the theory of selfishness because it came to my mind. We have to continue this at another time. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.